Welcome to Make Something, and today we're going to build a very simple miter saw station. Check it. So today we're just going to have some fun and we're going to make a miter saw station. For a long time I didn't even have a miter saw in my shop. It wasn't necessary for what I wanted to do, but to speed things up, I decided to get a miter saw so I could do cross cuts at one tool and rips over at the table saw. But ever since I've had my miter saw, I've not had a proper miter saw station. So today we're going to build a very simple one out of 3/4 inch plywood. Currently, my miter saw is very pathetic and just sits on top of the dust extractor. No wings, no stops, nothing to do repeatable cuts, and a little dangerous. So we're gonna head on over to the table saw and we're gonna start off by cutting the legs and the side pieces. So we have our 16 pieces here and we're going to glue and screw them together into this L formation, and that's going to make up our legs. Now we have all 4 side pieces. This will go over here, and then we'll cut the rails that'll connect these two and these two. So this would be a lot easier if I had a miter saw station. So for now, we're just going to use a stool. Kind of rough assemble it here on the bench. It's going to go like that. We're going to have, this is the back end. We're going to have 2 of these on the back, and then we're going to have 2 of these on the front, and we're going to attach them with pocket hole screws. The great thing about pocket hole screws is they pull the pieces together. Alright, so there's the first one. Now we'll just do the same thing with the second one. To make this flush, I'm going to cut a few more pieces here and then glue them on. Turns out this was too big to cut on a table saw. We cut the tops for both wings over on the table saw and the circular saw. On this bigger wing here, I want 3 drawers on this side and 3 drawers on this side, so I need to make a divider. So I'm going to cut that over on the table saw. So we have to use the little pocket hole jig for this guy, but that's how we're going to attach the top. All right, so now we're just screwing the top on. It ain't so bad in here, it's cozy. So my floors are crazy uneven. This is a garage, so it slopes down along the outside. It's kind of like a pitcher's mound. And so you might not need this for yours, but for me, I need to put some leveling feet on there because it definitely slopes way back and forward. So to keep them all level, I'm gonna use some of these guys. Get me crawling on the floor like an animal.
This thing is carpeted.
Yeah. Another one for the carpet. So we have these 4 ledges in here. I'm just screwing them in, and then the top is going to sit on that, and the miter saw will sit on that. No glue, just screws in case I need to readjust it in the future. I'll take this over here, and then this, in theory, will fit right on here. So I need to scoot this guy this way. Just like everything else, attaching it with pocket hole screws. Let me explain how my fence is going to work. The front of the fence is a 3-inch board, and the back of the fence is a 2 1/4-inch board, and I'm going to glue them together. The reason I have 2 separate size boards is because I'm using this Craig track here that needs the back piece a little bit shorter so it fits on there. Now this track will be used as my stop. Another great thing about this track is it'll straighten out the boards. You see how there's a little curve, there's a little flex in there. But once I get this screwed on there, it will straighten out the board. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to screw the track onto the first piece of plywood, and then I'm going to glue this piece on there. I got some pocket holes back here to attach it to the top of the bench. Also, along the front, I have a little 45-degree chamfer in there for it so dust can get trapped in there and not interfere with my stop block system. So now we got both of the fences made up. We'll find our placement. And we will pocket hole them in place. The saw is not fastened down yet. We'll get that square with the fences. Screw that right onto the table. So we have our dust extraction that rolls in underneath here, but I want to drill a spot up top here for the hose to fit through and hide it. This thing has pretty darn good dust collection. Make sure it's got room to travel. Perfect. One of my favorite things about woodworking, especially when you introduce new technology, is that you can never stop learning. All the 3D models that you've seen in this video are made using a program called Fusion 360. In the past, I've designed all my woodworking projects using SketchUp, but now I'm in the process of learning Fusion 360, and a great place to learn Fusion 360 is Skillshare. Not only am I using Skillshare to learn Fusion 360, but I'm using it to compare different 3D modeling applications so I can choose the best one that's right for me. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 17,000 classes in design, 3D, video editing, and much more. Premium memberships give you unlimited access so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Skillshare believes in accessible learning, and the price reflects that. and an annual subscription with unlimited access is less than $10 a month, making it one of the best deals you can find for online education. So check this out. You can get your first 3 months for just 99 cents if you sign up in January. There are plenty of classes at Skillshare.com to help you learn Fusion 360 and to become a better project designer. And once you get the basics of a program like Fusion 360, you can visually see what your project is going to look like before you even make that first cut. Again, the first 3 months for only 99 cents if you sign up in January, and I'll have that link down below in the description. I would like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring independent creators such as myself, so please check them out. All right, let's get back to this miter saw station and finish it up. We have some sticky back rulers here, also from Craig. We got a ruler up here, smack it up against the blade. Let's see if we can get this perfect. I'm borrowing the stop from my table saw sled. I have to order one just for this fence here. But the great thing about this stop is it flips up when you don't need it, and then you can flip it down. So let's put it to use. 30 inches, so we'll move that to the 30-inch mark. Flip that down. Right on the nose. Pretty cool. Finally, after all these years of having a miter saw, I finally have a miter saw station. Should speed up productivity. All right, so let's talk about how much this thing costs. I don't know exactly, but I think it took 4 sheets of plywood. I did make it out of some scrap, and I did use a couple pieces of brand new plywood. I used 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood. At my local dealer, it cost $55.95 per sheet, totaling $223.80. The Craig track and stop system cost $124, and the leveling feet cost $15.85 for 4, and I needed 8 of those, and that totals $379.50. Yes, that's pretty pricey for a lot of people. You can build this a lot cheaper if you want to. You don't need the Craig track and stop system. You could just put a clamp on there, clamp a board on there, and use that as your stop. But I like this. I like how it lifts up. You don't have to build the whole thing out of plywood. You can use 2x4s. My buddy Bob Claggett at I Like to Make Stuff just put out a video on making something similar to this, but he used 2x4s, and that would greatly reduce the cost. Contrary to popular belief, I don't get everything for free, and I had to pay for everything in this project. So you can see why I have not made the drawers yet, because it put me way out of budget. I want to put 4 drawers over here, 4 drawers here, and 4 drawers here. I am estimating that that's going to take 5 sheets of 1/2 inch Baltic birch plywood. My local plywood dealer sells them at $22.95 a piece. A 10-pack of 26-inch drawer slides costs $61 on Amazon, and a 10-pack of drawer pulls cost $12.99 on Amazon. That totals $188.74 at $20.97 per drawer. I will make the drawers when my budget allows, hopefully in the next few weeks. Yes, this is a costly build. So I don't have plans for this guy, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make plans available for this guy. So if you're looking to make a miter saw station, I want to direct you to 3 different places with 3 different types of plans. My buddy Bob Clegg at I Like to Make Stuff just made one using 2x4s. It's a great, simple build. My buddy Jay Bates also has a set of plans for a miter station, which he calls the ultimate miter station. And then my other buddy, Brad Rodriguez at Fix This Build That, has a mobile miter station plan available for you. So check those guys out. I'll have links to their plans down below. This is just one of those projects you can make as simple or as complicated as you want. It depends on your budget and your needs. This is the look that I'm going for. I want the Baltic birch plywood look running all throughout my shop. So as I get time and as budget allows, I will make more of these counters and tool stands around the perimeter of my shop. If you're wondering what this is the Festool Capex miter saw. and the Festool dust extractor. And when I turn the saw on, the dust extractor automatically comes on, so I don't have two different switches. The reason I went with the Capex years ago is because it had the highest rated dust collection in any miter saw, and it works pretty good. Some dust still gets out, and I will address that in the future. Another thing is the rails that it runs on is in the front, not the back, so it doesn't need like a huge footprint to move, which is really cool. It also can do dados. You can set a stop and actually do dados on here too. So that's why I went with that. It's one of the more pricey miter saws that you'll find, maybe the priciest one. It is what it is. It's probably the last miter saw I'll ever buy. So I wanted something good, high quality, had those features that I was looking for, and the really good dust collection. All right, folks, we'll see you next week with another project. Click up here for my latest video, and then click down here for what YouTube thinks you want to watch. As always, be safe, have fun, stay passionate, and make something.